Breaking news right now on Capitol Hill, where the Senate just passed the $1 trillion infrastructure bill this morning with strong bipartisan support. This is a pretty significant step on that two-track spending push making its way currently through Congress. NBC News political correspondent Ali Vitali joins us now. Ali, it's great to see you this afternoon. First off, how did that final vote play out?
Well, we keep calling it the bipartisan infrastructure package, and certainly that was borne out when the vote was ultimately done. 19 Republicans joining with all 50 Democrats to pass this bipartisan infrastructure bill, which at several points throughout this months-long process seemed like it was about to fall apart. You'll remember several months ago, the first of these bipartisan overtures was led by Senator Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia. When those efforts petered out, more other Republican and Democratic senators came together to put together this infrastructure package. And the important thing here is this is the stuff that focuses on roads, tunnels, bridges, your more traditional hard infrastructure. That was always the first track of this process. Now that has passed the Senate. Now, though, they're moving on to the next phase of it, which is the human infrastructure phase. And this is when things go back to being a little bit less of the rare bipartisanship that we were seeing here. They revert back to the partisan norms on this one.
And what is next for that? I mean, everyone is focusing on that human infrastructure because that's sort of, I mean, what's been a pretty marquee development of the Biden administration is how the country is now redefining what infrastructure actually is. When you say there's a different battle ahead, what do you mean?
It's a different battle ahead because when you talk about redefining infrastructure, there were several weeks here where the very word was under debate. And this is kind of how it fell out, was one track of this process was going to go through the things that everyone thinks about when they think about infrastructure. And then the other step of this process was going to be bolstering the human side of this. Many of the things that COVID exposed, things like the need for a stronger child care system, universal pre-K, many of the kinds of tax code changes that were talked about during the presidential campaign and certainly now after, the idea that corporations need to pay more than zero in taxes each year, taxing the wealthy among us to bolster these kinds of social programs that Democrats want to put together in this bill. And right now we're at the start of that reconciliation process. Immediately after moving off of the bipartisan bill, the Senate pivoted and voted to open up the debate process on the reconciliation phase. Right now they're in 50 hours of debate, and then they're going to move to what they call here a vote-a-rama, effectively voting on a series of amendments that are more messaging than they are hard policy. Some of the things that they're going to be voting on, you're going to see later on in things like attack ads. But this is all part of the process. Senators can vote to speed it up if they would like to, but they're squarely in the reconciliation phase of this, a $3.5 trillion effort, Morgan.
And we know just how important that messaging is, especially heading now into the midterms. Ali Vitali, can I just say you are so good. Thank you for following this just from beginning to end, sister. You are unmatched. I watch in all of you, Ali Vitali. Thank you. We appreciate your time.